Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Ayana Nadira binti Khairuddin. My matric number is 18BB01003. Our group presentation topic is how e-wallet of Fave Pay and Big Pay works in Malaysia. Before that, let me introduce you what is e-wallet, Fave Pay and Big Pay. E-wallet is a digital cash that works like a physical money but in an application. So, you don't have to bring money everywhere, you just need to bring your phone. Oops, this is my phone. Fave Pay is one of the e-wallet application that is fast, convenient and secure to make payment without using money. You can also get a discount using this application and also earn a cashback with the next purchase. Next, Big Pay is an e-wallet system that allows us to make transactions using only prepaid card and application in the smartphone. Now, let me explain the pros and cons using these two e-wallet. So, the first pros of using a Fave Pay is convenient, which is customer no longer have to bring money everywhere and anywhere or withdrawing money from their wallets or ATMs. By only using Fave Pay, customer and seller can track every transaction made in the application. The second pros is fast. It only takes a few seconds for Fave Pay to process and authenticate any transaction that you have made. The third one is of course secure. It can reduce the risk of cash thief as you don't need to bring any money in your pocket. Next, can track inventory and produce report. Merchants have the ability to access transaction records from the convenience of their fingertips. They can use this to offer better service quality and capture payment data. Next, the pros of using Fave Pay is to improve efficiency. It can facilitate the purchase and sale of transactions between customer and merchants regardless of location. This is because integration with rewards and loyalty program allow easy access to important program for customer retention to ensure business operation become more efficient. Then the last one is accurate. Fave Pay use technology that will eliminate human error where the transaction is being recorded and every transaction will be authenticated during the payment process. Okay, now let me talk about the cons of using Fave Pay. Alright, based on my research, I think that Fave Pay has almost no flaw because its application can handle every customer problem very well. However, e-wallet device still have some insignificant disadvantage, such as your information could be risk of leakage, which is when you register the e-wallet, you have to put your personal information such as telephone number and credit card number, right? So that information may be leaked if it happened to be in someone else's hand. The next cons of Fave Pay is limited services, which is in Malaysia, there are many businesses that still do not use e-wallet as one form of their payment method. So they still need money to make a purchase. The last one is the risk of e-wallet system failure. If Fave Pay company is closed, the cash in the account will be burned, or if the payment system fails, the user will not be able to access it until the system is repaired. Now, let's move to the pros and cons of using Big Pay. Okay, the first pros of using Big Pay is it collaborates with MasterCard, which is it can be used worldwide as well as all stores that support MasterCard for shopping and making payment online. The next one is Big Pay allow the user to transfer money easily, which is the money can be sent very quickly and easily, as it does not require an account number to send money to a Big Pay partner, and there is no more problem with incorrect number account. Oh, I forgot to say that this is only subject to Big Pay users only. And the third pros of using Big Pay is we don't have to worry about losing the card, which is Big Pay card user can continue to freeze the card as soon as they realize the card is lost by using the Big Pay application in the smartphone only, which means we don't have to go to the bank card counter or call the bank officer to freeze the card. Okay, now let's move to the cons of using Big Pay. The first one is we cannot use Big Pay to the ATM or CDM machines because there is no Big Pay machine itself. Therefore, you need another bank account to transfer your money into the card. You can still use Big Pay at other ATMs, but you will be charged RM6 per withdrawal in Malaysia, or as much as RM10 or 2% for overseas withdrawal, depending on the place. This is because to encourage you to make cashless payment as well as to reduce the use of paper. And the next one is payment charge. If you want to transfer from Big Pay account to a real bank account, you will be charged of 50% for each transfer transaction. So if you want to transfer in a small amount, 50 cents could be a waste for you, right? So if you want to transfer, let's transfer for a big amount.
Assalamualaikum. Today I will be explain about how to transfer physical money to e-wallet. For e-wallet, which is a Fave Pay. So to transfer it is using card credit. So step 1, connect your card with Fave Pay. So bila kita dah connect, automatic kita akan top up duit kita tu ke Fave Pay. Contohnya, bila kita dah card kita ni dah connect dengan Fave Pay, dia akan jadi macam ni. Okay, step yang kedua ialah check if the restaurant is even eligible for Fave Pay. Kita kena check sama ada tempat yang kita nak bayar tu ada tak barcode untuk scan Fave Pay. Contohnya, kita cari dulu restoran yang ada pembayaran Fave Pay dan kita cari barcode yang ni macam ni ada tak dekat restoran tu. So, step yang ketiga ialah pay with Fave Pay. So, bila bil dah sampai, kita inform kepada waiters tu yang kita kata kita nak bayar guna Fave Pay. Then, kita scan. Then, kita akan ni pay with Fave. So, bil kat sini akan keluar. Guna kita punya kad kredit Visa yang kita dah connect tadi. So, kat sini just tekan pay now dan transaction kita berjaya. Okey, yang seterusnya macam mana kita nak transfer duit pergi ke Fave Pay ialah menggunakan Grab Pay. So, step yang pertama ialah open Fave Apps. So, bila kita dah open Fave Apps macam ni, kita dah open, then kita akan tekan scan ni, scan ni kat bawah ni untuk kita scan QR code dia. Okay, step yang kedua, bila kita dah open Fave app ni, kita akan tekan scan dekat bawah ni untuk kita scan Fave Pay QR dia. Okay, step yang ketiga ialah search for our shop front in Fave Pay. So, kita nak beli kat kedai tu. So, kita kena make sure yang kedai tu pakai Fave Apps punya apps untuk kita bayar. So, kita nak cari macam ni. Buka macam ni. So, step yang keempat ialah identify your merchant. So, make sure the QR code you have scanned display the correct version name High-Tech Mobile. So, saya pilih kedai High-Tech Mobile. Saya nak bayar dekat kedai tu. So, saya pilih kedai High-Tech Mobile. Dan saya kena take note yang the address is the same outlet that I intend to purchase from. So, saya dah buka High-Tech Mobile kat atas ni. Dan saya akan buat pembayaran. So, next step ialah step yang kelima ialah enter amount and choose payment method. So, saya dah enter amount RM20 dan saya akan choose payment method iaitu menggunakan GrabPay. So, saya akan connectkan saya punya pembayaran ni dengan GrabPay. So, how to transfer physical money to e-wallet, which is Big Pay. So, I have 4 steps, which is using transfer Big Pay with cash at 7-Eleven. So, step 1 is on your home screen, Big Pay, tap on the top up icon. So, dekat sebelah ni, bila kita dah buka app Big Pay tu, kat sebelah ni, kita tekan belah ni untuk top up button. So, step kedua ni ialah kita enter the amount. Bila kita dah buka apps tu tadi, kita dah tekan button top up icon tu, kita kena enter jumlah yang kita nak masukkan dalam Big Pay tu. Contohnya, saya nak transfer cash sebanyak 200 menggunakan 7-Eleven. So, saya kena enter the amount. So, step yang ketiga ialah choose the cash top up option. So, kita nak top up menggunakan 7-Eleven. So, kita tekan button dekat sini menunjukkan kita nak top up 7-Eleven. So, nampak tak gambar 7-Eleven kat sini? Kita just tap yang mengatakan kita ni nak top up cash guna 7-Eleven kepada Big Pay apps ni.
So next we will see on the explanation on how to transfer RM1 to your friend using each of the e-wallet, which is we have 2 e-wallets. The first is Fave Pay and the second is Big Pay. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Fave Pay first. So basically, Fave Pay is the quick and easy way to pay with our smartphone at the favorite restaurants, cafes, or any shops that available in the Fave Pay apps. And sometimes we can get a cashback up until 30% of instant cashback based on what the shop or restaurants has offers. So, based on what I found on this Fave Pay app, the Fave Pay is actually only available for a selected partner on the Fave mobile app. So, this Fave Pay can only allow us to use it when we pay the bill at the outlet. So, in Fave Pay app, there are also many categories available or services available on the app, including categories of eat, buffet, hair, beauty, health, and many more other categories as well. So next, we will see on the explanation on how to transfer RM1 to your friend using each of the e-wallet, which is we have 2 e-wallets. The first is Fave Pay and the second is Big Pay. But first, let me tell you a little bit about Fave Pay first. So basically, Fave Pay is the quick and easy way to pay with our smartphone at the favorite restaurants, cafes, or any shops that available in the Fave Pay apps. And sometimes we can get a cashback up until 30% of instant cashback based on what the shop or restaurants has offers. So, based on what I found on this Fave Pay app, the Fave Pay is actually only available for a selected partner on the Fave mobile app. So, this Fave Pay can only allow us to use it when we pay the bill at the outlet. So in Fave Pay app, there are also many categories available or services available on the app, including categories of eat, buffet, hair, beauty, health, and many more other categories as well. So now we'll we'll see on how to make the payment using Fave Pay. So, untuk menggunakan app Fave Pay ni, biasanya kita akan first kali kita kena install Fave Pay app tersebut, dan kita buka Fave app tu, dan kita boleh cari shop ataupun kedai yang mana kita nak bayar. Selepas tu kita lepas kita dah tekan dalam shop yang kita dah pilih tu, kita akan enter the amount of the bill. Maksudnya kita kita isi berapa jumlah yang kita perlu bayar. Contoh kalau RM10 ke RM20 ke, jadi kita boleh enter dulu amount yang kita nak bayar tu. Ataupun second ways yang lebih mudah adalah apabila kita dah berada dalam kedai ataupun restoran tersebut, kedai tersebut telah menyediakan satu QR code oleh Fave Pay. Jadi kita boleh gunakan satu features yang lebih mudah, iaitu features scan now. Jadi menggunakan Fave Pay app ni, menggunakan handphone juga, kita boleh tap scan now, dan kita hanya scan je QR code tersebut. Dan selepas kita scan QR code tersebut, dia akan keluarkan dia akan keluarkan tempat untuk kita enter amount of the bill. Ini cara yang kedua. Selepas sama ada kita terpulang pada kita untuk menggunakan cara pertama ataupun cara yang kedua. Selepas kita dah enter amount of the bill, contoh RM20 ataupun RM10, kita dah letak amount tersebut, kita akan tekan continue. Dan page Fave Pay ni, dia akan directkan kita kepada payment method kita. So dalam payment method ni ada macam-macam. Ada beberapa cara, iaitu credit or debit card, Grab Pay, Boost, ataupun macam-macam lagi. Dia ataupun online banking juga. Dia ada banyak payment method, dan kita hanya tinggal pilih saja payment method yang mana yang kita mahukan. Lepas kita dah pilih, kita kena tap pay now and then complete the payment. So selepas complete the payment, restoran tersebut ataupun cashback ni kita akan dapat apabila kita dah selesai membayar bil tersebut. Dan cashback juga, peratusan cashback bergantung juga kepada bill amount yang kita bayar, bergantung juga kepada restoran tersebut, berapa yang kita boleh dapat amount cashback tersebut. So now we will move to the next e-wallet, which is the Big Pay. So from what I've learned, what I found, and what I researched in the internet, in the YouTube and the app as well, I have found that this app is actually a little bit different from any other e-wallet in the market, which is it is not the same with Grab Pay, Boost, Lazada e-wallet, or Shopee e-wallet as well, because this e-wallet it is comes with the card to use it. So if we want to use the e-wallet, we have to use it with the card, which is function as a prepaid card, but the card we can also use it on the ATM machine as well. Okay, so in order for us to register into the Big Pay app, firstly we need to install the Big Pay app from the App Store or Play Store into your mobile phone. After we already in the app, we need to enter Let's Get Started and then fill in the information. So for this part on fill in the information that we need to fill in had several pages, which is the first page is tell us about yourself. So in this page we have to fill in our full name, date of birth, gender, nationality, occupation, and industry. And then we will move on to the second page on the fill in the information, which is the second page is what's your home address. So we need to fill in our address. The app or the company of Big Pay can send us the card using the home address that we fill in just now. So the next step is the verification of our identity. So in this part, we have two sections of verification, which is the first section is we have to snap the photo of our IC or passport, front and back of the IC. And then we have to wait a few minutes or a few seconds while it's been verified. And then when it's done being verified, the second section of the verification is we need to snap the photo of ourselves. And then after we send the photo, the apps will direct us to move to the left and right. And tak silap saya, kita kena sebut a few words while being in the apps. Tak silap saya kena sebut nama. Tak silap saya. Sebab dia nak pastikan diri kita ni adalah diri kita yang sebenar, bukannya robot, dan juga nak identify suara kita tersebut. So after we enter or tap the icon of add 20 ringgit, we will be directed to the payment system. And then we can choose which payment method that we want to pay the 20 ringgit, whether it is a credit or debit card, or other ways, which is the online bank transfer to top up the 20 ringgit first. So this 20 ringgit is compulsory for us to add because the company need us to add 20 ringgit for them to send us the card to our home address. So after we succeed transfer the 20 ringgit, we need to wait on the card to be delivered to our home. And then the 20 ringgit that we have paid before, it is actually already been top up into the prepaid card that we will receive once we get the card. So now I'm going to show you what the Big Pay card looks like. So this is the Big Pay card. Actually, as you can see, this card is actually looks the same as any other ATM card, Maybank, Bank Islam, or any other bank as well, because as you can see here, it has the chip for the card to be used in the ATM machine as well. So as you can see, this logo, it shows that the Big Pay card, the Big Pay prepaid card, is associated with the MasterCard as well. So now we will move to the step on how to transfer 1 ringgit to a friend using the Big Pay app. So by using Big Pay, we have two types of bank transfer that we can use, which is the first is local transfer, and the second is international bank transfer. International transfer. So for the local transfer, the Big Pay app isn't instant like any normal bank transfer, like maybe to you or from Big Pay to Big Pay wallet transfer. So it is not an instant transfer. So in order for us to transfer to a friend, we have to fill in a few details on the app, such as we have to fill in the full name of the recipient, the bank name, the account number of the recipient, and the purpose of our transfer. So in order for us to transfer, we have to fill in those information first. But to make it a little bit more easier in the future, we also can save up to 10 recipient details in the features on the Big Pay app, which is the My Favorites features. So in the My Favorite list, we can edit the names or the list to add the list of the people that we want to transfer the money to. Seterusnya, the local bank transfer isn't free sebab Big Pay ni dia mengenakan charge sebanyak 50% setiap kali kita nak buat transaksi. Jadi bila kita nak transfer RM1 kepada kawan kita, jadi kita akan dikenakan 50% sebagai charge. Jadi total yang kita akan transfer adalah RM1.50. Tapi kawan kita tersebut akan dapat hanya RM1 sajalah sebab 50% tersebut akan dikenakan charge. 50% akan dikenakan charge oleh Big Pay company tersebut. The second types of bank transfer is the international transfer. So for the international transfer, for now Big Pay only available on making the transfer to 4 ASEAN countries sahaja, which is Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore and Thailand. So if we want to transfer into the recipients that are not from Malaysia, firstly we have to open the Big Pay app as well, like any other transfer, and then we have to enter how much money we want to transfer to the recipient, and it will show us how much the recipients, if they are not from Malaysia, will get in their local currency. Contoh, kalau dia daripada Indonesia, berapa rupiah yang dia boleh dapat daripada RM1 kita, di mana kita berada di Malaysia. Seterusnya, the cross border transaction juga akan dikenakan charge fee, yuran, iaitu yuran tersebut adalah di antara RM7 hingga RM13 sekali transfer. First time buat international transfer, jadi kita tak akan dikenakan charge oleh Big Pay company tersebut. Okey, dalam international transfer juga sama je seperti local transfer, kita juga boleh save sebanyak 10 penerima details tersebut di dalam My Favorites, which kita boleh edit list tu kalau kita nak tambah ataupun kita nak buang beberapa nama, supaya kita punya transfer tu akan menjadi lebih mudah dan lebih cepat. Now we will move to another topic for our presentation, which is we have to explain how merchant will receive payment from their client or customers. So first of all, I'm gonna explain a little bit about the definition of merchant first, which is the merchant is basically a type of bank that can allow businesses to accept payments in multiple ways. Usually, it is by debit or credit cards. So, merchant also is the first place for the payments to be received before the money or the funds being deposited into the regular bank account. So now we will look at the types of merchant services products, which is in these products we have three types, which is the first is the payment gateway, the second is credit card terminal, and the third is point of sale system. So the first is a payment gateway. So payment gateway is an e-commerce that can authorize payments for e-business and online retailers as well. So to make it more understandable, it is basically a software that can works with the website or the e-commerce store to allows them to take and process the debit, credit card, and the online payment as well. So the second types of merchant service products is credit card terminal. So credit card terminal is a device that can allow customers to swipe the card or tap the credit card when accepting the payments in person, which is when we make the payments by face to face. So it will connect the customers to the businesses or the stores merchant service provider in order to facilitate the process of take, verify, and receive payment. So the third merchant service product is the point of sale system. So for this point of sale system, it is a combination of software and hardware system to accept and process payment of businesses in nowadays. So to make it more clear, the software is used to read the magnetic strips of the card, the debit card or the credit card that are installed or embedded in the hardware of the card. So for example, the point of sale system is the point of sale terminal that we always saw in the store, or that we always saw at the payment counter in the shopping mall or the supermarket and many more. Next, we will look at the types of merchant services provider. So for this merchant services provider, we have two types, which is the first is merchant account provider, and the second is the payment service provider. So for the merchant account provider, it is a merchant account provider that can provide businesses with the merchant accounts. So the merchant account is basically a bank account that needed for us to accept credit card payment. So it is also can provide businesses with the tools that we need to accept payments, such as point of sale system, payment gateway, or mobile credit card terminal. So this also usually requires an application and setup process, but it is also offer businesses some of the lowest merchant processing fees. So for example, this merchant account provider is including the payment depot, Dharma merchant service, and Fat merchant. So basically, for the merchant account provider, I can say that it is used with the tools. It is used with the tools such as the point of sale system that we always saw the businesses use nowadays in the payment counter in the supermarket or store or any other shopping mall as well. Now the second merchant services provider is the payment service provider. So for this payment service provider, it is a provider that can accumulate all the funds from different customers into a single merchant account, and then the payment service provider can distribute the funds from this account to each individual business account. So basically, actually the payment service provider, it is quite same with the merchant account provider, but this payment service is doesn't include with the merchant accounts for their customers. So their customers does not receive any merchant accounts, because the provider will accumulate all the funds from these different customer into one single merchant accounts only. Therefore, it can be faster and more easy for the provider to set up, and then we can use the payment service provider to be more efficient as well. So this type of payment service provider include like PayPal, Stripe, and Square. The next topic, which is process of merchant to receive payments from their clients for Fave Pay. So when we using Fave Pay, we need to use the app that's been installed in our smartphone to be able to make the payment. So this is how the merchant receive payments from their clients who've been used the Fave Pay app. So firstly, the process will begins when clients enter the amount of the bill, and they tap the Pay Now or Scan Now on the specific store QR code of the Fave Pay app using their phone. And then next, the payment processor will transmit the data and checks with the customer's bank before accepting or denying the information. So after that, the payment will be completed if the customer's bank approve the transaction. And then the payment processor will take their fees once the purchase by the customers is approved. And lastly, the remaining money will be deposited into business's merchant account. So the second is Big Pay. So for the Big Pay, we have to use the Big Pay card as our e-wallets that can also work as debit and credit card as well. So this is how the merchant receive their payment is if customers are using the Big Pay card. So firstly, when the Big Pay card was used at the point of sale terminal, the payment will be authorized through the acquiring bank where the merchant has an account, and then the acquiring bank will issue an authorization request to the card issuing bank. The approval code is sent back to the point of sale once the authorization is confirmed, and then after the payment was approved, a similar process happens once again, but in this case the authorization code and draft of sales will be sent first to the acquiring bank and then to the card issuing bank. So next, when the card issuing bank receive the authorization code, the card issuing bank will deduct the fee from the total that the merchant or the business owe, and then lastly, it will be sent back to the acquiring bank where the money will be deposited into the merchant's account or the business's account. But it is not including the discount percentage, and also that already been deduct from the fee that Big Pay will take from the account.
So the conclusion is that we had learned several steps on this type of payment system, which is e-wallet, that exists in Malaysia. Therefore, there are many benefits or advantages that we can get by using e-wallets. It will be more secure, can speed up the transactions instead of using physical cash, and also can decrease the cases files. Other than that, e-wallet also can allow us the benefit of cashback, vouchers, promotion, and many more. Lastly, consumers also can discipline themselves on spending and always keep track on their uses.